Welcome to Chamber Chat. My name is Melissa Vance and I'm with the Wayne County Area Chamber and I'm your host for this evening. Thank you for tuning in. We will be talking first all about the Meltdown Festival with Bill Thisaway and Caitlin Blancett, and then we'll be transitioning over to the Chamber Annual Dinner Discussion with Lee Elzemeyer and Anna Lowe Miller. I hope that you enjoy the evening and I look forward to having you with us. Welcome back. And I am joined first of all with Bill and Caitlin. Welcome
Hi.
to both of you.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Both of you are on the committee for the Meltdown Festival.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about the history of this festival and what it's all about.
Okay, we started this like 5 years. This will be the 5th year for the Meltdown. And so 5 years ago, there were a few of us sitting around like, what can we do to help boost the economy in late January when there's absolutely nothing going on
Right.
anywhere. It's the doldrums after Christmas. It's, you know.
And it's cold.
And it's cold.
What do you do outside in the cold?
Exactly.
Right.
And it helps and to get people outside. So my son and I had been doing this for quite a few years and started a few in southern Michigan and northern Indiana. And so we kind of laid out what we thought might work here, and everybody picked up the ball and ran with it, and it's been successful ever since. And it's been an effort of a whole lot of people in town to put this together.
Absolutely. Well, it's such a fun time because, like you said, it's January, the holidays are over, the kids have been inside driving their parents crazy. They just want to get outside and do something, and this is a really fantastic family-friendly event.
Exactly.
So tell us the dates, first of all, for this year. When is this happening?
So the schedule will be on January 22nd. That's when the carvers arrive, and then they're going to
Okay.
be carving all week. On the 24th, we're going to have a reception for all of our sponsors, just to kind of thank them and kind of start the festivities off. And then on the 25th is the Chili for Charity cook-off, where all the nonprofits make their chili, and then people from the community can come in and vote on whose is best. If you happen to vote for Cope Environmental Center's chili, so be it.
So be it. And chili's my favorite thing, so I love that of it.
And then on the 26th and 27th, it's the Meltdown Throwdown,
Yes.
which is where the sculptors get into teams and they have to live carve in front of an audience, and then the audience chooses who did it the
who
best.
wins. Yes.
It's so much
Yes,
fun.
It is. It's fun and it's exciting. It's a way, to bring this art to people that haven't really seen it before. So it's
Because that's really what it is.
It is an art.
It really is an
and,
art.
we these guys all do it full time, and they are really artists. And what's kind of interesting, they all started out as chefs, and so they all learned this in culinary school, and
Wow.
a lot of them are better cooks than they are ice carvers, but
But
they
love the
like
ice
to do the
carving.
ice.
Well, they
Now
should
that-
join the chili cook-off.
Well, I mentioned that to them one time, and I about got shot.
Oh,
But, yeah, but yeah, they all and all these guys are world-class carvers. They have all either past national champions or they've all finished no lower than third in the world championships.
So how many years did you say this has been
This will be
happening
the
now?
5th. It's been
The
4 years.
fifth
This will be the
year.
5th year.
And each year it's been moved around a little bit
Right.
in the same area of town, always in the downtown or depot
Correct.
area. Where can people find you this year?
In Elstro Plaza. That's become the permanent home for the
That's
for the
great.
Meltdown.
No
Yes.
more moving around.
No more.
It's the perfect site.
It is. It really is. It's been just a fabulous place to do it.
It's really fun to see that park come to life
Yes.
and all of the different activities all summer long with the farmers market there,
Mm-hmm.
and then to know that it's still going to be used in the wintertime too for things like this. It's a lot of fun.
It is. It's a real asset to the city, I think.
Well, I know there are also warming stations that will be around. Tell a little bit about what the warming stations are, obviously it's a place to get warm.
To get warm, yeah.
But are there other things that will go along with that?
So those are still, we're still in the planning process for all of that, so
Okay.
I can't give any details
Top
yet.
secret.
Top secret. So if you want to find out, you should come. No, but we're still setting those up, so
Okay,
more information to come.
great. Well, that's a really good lead-in. Where do people go to find out more about the festival, the lineup, the schedule, and updates?
So you can go to the Meltdown's website. It's still being updated right now with this year's dates and activities. So just keep refreshing that page and you're going to get more and more information every time.
Great.
Some of the other things that go along with it is like the carvers will be all out there live and on Saturday at different parts of town on Main Street and in the depot, carving some bigger pieces. And it's a great place to interact with all these carvers and ask questions, and they love when people come up and talk to them and do all that kind of thing.
I should also mention on Saturday there are going to be horse-drawn carriage rides that go through the loop between downtown and the
great.
Depot District, so
Great.
that'll be fun. And then
So around 7th to Fort Wayne Avenue and E and 10th and
Right.
back on Main.
Yep.
And then another new thing that's happening this year, we're trying to reach as many audiences as possible. So we're going to have some of the carvers actually carve live at the Leland and see if we can get to
that's so
some people who
special.
might not be able to come out otherwise. So.
Right.
Yeah.
That is a really neat addition.
Yeah.
I love that you're doing that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be neat because only the carver will be out in the cold. Everybody else can sit inside and watch them.
Right.
And so that
oh, that's really special.
the other one, and then the other end of the spectrum, we do one at Morrison Reeves Library for all the kids, and on I think it's Tuesday afternoon, and that one, and
That's
so
great.
they get into that too. So.
Well, thank you both for being with me today and talking about the festival. Thank you for all the work that you put into this event, and
fun.
hopefully there will be people out all week long watching what's going on and just enjoying it. It's a free event,
It's free.
It's a free event and there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
So.
and that's the key. Just come on out, young, old, no matter what, as long as you're bundled up and ready for the cold, right?
Exactly.
Thank you both.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with our next guests, Liza Meyer and Anna Lohmiller, talking all about the Chamber Annual Dinner. And before we head to our next guests and talking about the Chamber Annual Dinner, we wanted to give you a preview of what you will find at this year's Meltdown Festival by showing a little video from last year. Here you go.
What is up, Richmond? It's the Meltdown Festival. Welcome back and welcome to Ice Fights 2016. Are you ready for a fight tonight? Oh, I love this crowd already. You're loud. You're ready for a good time, and we're going to have a great time tonight. Who is at their first ever ice fight tonight? Raise your hand. Oh, look at all these ice fight rookies. Well, you're about to fall in love with the coolest sport in America. It is now time to introduce our fighters, and these are some of the best ice sculptors in the world. Are you ready, Richmond? Let's introduce Team Fire. Starting with the man that's been everywhere from Los Angeles to Tallahassee to Maine, sculpting ice all over this great country. Give it up to Shannon the Cannon! He is partnering tonight with a multi-time ice fight champion. He holds several titles all across the country, from Texas to Alabama, and undefeated where? Undefeated in Richmond. He is Dean the Dragon Damaris. This is Team Fire. Now let's introduce Team Ice. Now you talk about a duo over here. This is a formidable team right here because you are dealing with two ultra veterans of the ice fight arena. Give it up first and foremost. The man in the hat is a multi-time ice fight champion and one of the most creative sculptors you'll ever meet. He is the one and only, the multi-time champion, the Reverend Butter! And his teammate tonight with too many Texas State championships to even mention. What are we up to, 15? He has been sculpting for 30 years. He is the red-haired one himself. He is the Viking, Buddy Rasmussen. And just to make tonight even more interesting, Buddy's already bleeding. Buddy's already taken a hit on the head tonight. He's bleeding. It's not slowing him down. This is Team Ice. Give it up for Team Ice tonight. Then let's count it down. Get your tools ready, gentlemen. 10, 9, count with me. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Souls up, gentlemen. Let's go. Ice Fights is officially underway in Richmond. It is Friday night Ice Fights at the Richmond Meltdown. And there go our carvers. Ice fighters have an amazing ability to use a chainsaw to hack away gigantic chunks of ice and then to use it very delicately and draw all the ice like it's a pencil. It's just amazing what they can do. Reverend Butter is on my right carving for Team Ice. He is carving some very thin lines into the ice on this side. You've got your paddles out there, so if you start liking what you see, hold them up. Tell us what your votes are so far. As he's at Ice Fights, we call that the avalanche zone because you might get snowed on, you might get ice hitting you, so watch out for that. Taking pieces off, and that's about a 15-pound block of ice just falling right off the stage. Here comes another block of ice just crashing the stage. Not the safest thing in the world to do. Don't try this at home. But Dean the Dragon Damaris, he is a lifetime ice carving champion. He knows exactly what he's doing right now.
Welcome back to the show. And now I have with me Anna Lohmiller and Lee Elzemeyer. Lee's with First Merchants Bank and Anna is with RMD Patty Insurance. But most importantly, they are with the Chamber. Lee will be our incoming board chair for 2018.
Looking forward to it.
How exciting is that?
It's going to be a great year.
Yes. And Anna, you also have a new role for this year as chair of our ACES committee.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Which, for people that don't know what ACES is, tell us what that stands for.
As we sometimes say, we're the exciting fun group that gets to do all the events.
That's right.
We do ribbon cuttings, we do events throughout the year, being our annual dinner and other things like that.
So even though it's the awards, celebrations, and events out, we like to call you all the ACES because you are so phenomenal at pulling all of those things off.
Thank you.
Which is great. Well, thank you both for being here and talking about the annual dinner, which is our biggest event of the year. Anna, you've been on this committee for quite some time, even though you're in a new role.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what people have grown to expect from the annual dinner, and then what maybe has changed over the years.
Well, it's an event that it celebrates the community. 600 plus people that come to the event every year. It is a dinner, but then it's also an event where you can network with everyone, and then we acknowledge several different individuals and corporations and businesses in our community for awards.
It's really a phenomenal night.
Correct.
And it's a great date night too. So
Yes.
you can always like weave that in. It's a great date night. So it's not, there are some events when I know we drag our spouses to them and they suffer along, and this one is really an enjoyable one. At least we try to make it that way.
Definitely. And as far as some of the things that's changed, it has kind of went towards more of a gala event. Along 10 years ago, we may not have had the black curtains that were up, so we do things like that with our themes each year. We now have partners that have helped us go a little bit further with those themes such as our bars. The bar area are now theme-based also, which is real fun. And that partnership is with Whitewater Construction. So that's always real nice.
They came on board with us a couple years ago and really transformed just standing in line and going and getting a drink at a table to it feels like it's part of the event. So it's just been a lot of fun. And now I have people talking to me and always saying, what are the bars going to look like this year? What are they doing?
Yes.
It's this anticipation. So it's been a lot of fun.
They've really transformed, the Coleman Center. We go to it, we see it, but then for this event, it really changes it to a whole new place or
Right.
moment in time, really. So it's amazing transformation.
And I remember when I first came to the chamber thinking, there's no way we can seat 600 people in this venue, but by golly, we do.
It happens.
And it works. Thanks to Rod Waltz, who is on the committee, and he helps measure out the spacing and all of that kind of stuff. But yes. So Lee, tell us a little bit about your role as chair and what you will be doing that night, and what do you do as far as this event goes?
Well, I think my role as chair is to, help make sure the evening goes off well, and that, we work to make it an enjoyable evening, that we're on time, and, the awards go off well, or, we have a speaker. But it's a great night to celebrate our community. It's an amazing, when we go through the awards and talk about them, but the group of people that are involved, whether they're nominated or winners, are just kind of the backbone of our community. So it's fun to see those people recognized. A lot of them, don't want the recognition.
Right.
But they're deserving, so it's great to see that group that comes up every year and receives an award. So it's an exciting night, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
And speaking of the awards, we have the community send their nominations in to the chamber, and then the executive committee looks that over and makes the selections. Obviously, we're not going to reveal the winners today on the show, but tell us, what are some of those awards? What are some of the categories that we recognize that evening?
As far as individuals, we have the Art Vivian Distinguished Community Leader Award. Then we also have an Educator of the Year. And then also with the Emergency Service Professional of the Year. Those are some more of the individuals that we recognize. Then we also have the businesses. So we have the Achievement of Excellence, that's small businesses, or the Achievement of Excellence on our not-for-profit.
Right.
Those are a few.
Yeah, I think it's just exciting that we recognize both how businesses might give back to the community. We also look at how they do in our community, from the corporation of the year down to the small business. But it's great to hear their stories and to see what they've done for our community, and again, without a lot of fanfare. So it's just an
Absolutely.
exciting night to see them all recognized.
These businesses and individuals have made investments in our community, and it's really neat to see, whether that's a financial investment or investing in the growth of the economy, or whether it's investing of their time and their energy toward the community.
They're our risk takers. They're taking a risk in our
Absolutely.
community and making that investment. So it's exciting to see the work that they do, and when they have great results, we should recognize it as a community.
Absolutely. Well, Lee, tell us a little bit about the speaker that we have this year.
Well, I'm excited about our speaker. Jack Hess comes to us from the Columbus area and has some chamber background, but his real passion is collaboration, and I'm excited to hear what he has to say, as he really has made a life of just digging into collaboration and how to get groups to work together, and communities. Has been centrally involved with what's happened in Columbus, Indiana, and so to hear his perspective and to relate that to how our community works is going to be very interesting, just to see his perspective of Wayne County. One of the things that I looked at in reviewing some of Jack's stuff was, just combining education with workforce development, that type of thing. And then I was looking at one piece where one of their goals was, if we could just have people in our community attain the next highest level of education to better themselves, what would that do for your community?
Right.
So just little
Right.
ideas like that will be great to hear Jack's perspective.
He started out gaining experience just by doing, and then now he's moved more in the consulting and being a thought leader, not just in Columbus, but around the state and
Yeah.
beyond.
He's really made a science of the whole collaborating and getting people to work together and work out plans. So I think it's something that we can always use just a little bit more collaboration, I suppose.
I think people will walk away being inspired. I know I heard Jack speak at IUE several years ago when I was a part of a leadership group there, and of that entire year of speakers, his session stood out to me more than any, and I remember taking that information back to the office and sitting down and thinking, how can we implement some of these things? If we could just implement one or two of these things, how much
Yeah.
better it would be.
Yeah. I hope we can all take something like that away from Jack's discussion.
Right.
So I think it's going to be exciting to hear what he thinks of Wayne County and his thoughts of what worked in other areas that might work for us.
And not that there's going to be a huge, long speech, because it's one small part of the evening. He'll be speaking for 20 minutes-ish, and but I do think people will be able to walk away and have a few nuggets of things that they can implement and be inspired, at least when they leave. And his topic of community engagement and all of that, it kind of leads me to our theme for the year. Anna, do you want to roll that out?
Yes. So we're excited this year. We're going to do a night at the movies, making a blockbuster community. So if that just gives you a little tidbit of what it might entail.
That's right. So now everyone's wheels are turning about those bars that we talked about a few minutes ago. It will be special. That's all I can say.
Yes.
But it will be fun to take that theme and really tie it into the community piece. And I'm a little partial. I know we all are, but really do think Wayne County is a blockbuster community already. And looking at the trajectory of where we're headed, it just is all that more exciting. So, talk a little bit about the volunteers that help pull this evening off, because it doesn't happen overnight, right, Anna?
Absolutely does not. Obviously we start planning the annual dinner. We started in October, probably, somewhat even
At
before
least.
that. But actually when it comes up to that week. So we start that week out with a lot of volunteers that come to the Coleman Center. And as you said too, we start with Rod Waltz, getting on all of our tables in line and getting that all set. And it does take the whole week. We start on Monday and it goes through until Friday afternoon when we're doing all of the very last touches, and then we all turn around and run home and change and get back to greet everybody at the door.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Yeah.
Western Wayne FFA group is always really helpful with the cleanup and being a part of that. And, we sometimes have students come in to help us that week to pull it off, but it's exciting for everyone that's involved. And the ACES committee, they're the best. I mean, they're just rock stars. So
Yes.
thank you for your leadership in that regard.
Thank
and
you.
Lee, thank you for your
Thank
leadership
you.
at
Thanks
the
for all your
board.
help.
Yeah.
This year is going to be fabulous, like no other. So it'll be exciting to see. And if you're interested in coming to the event, get online today and get your seat, because it very well will sell out. You can go to wcareachamber.org and put your reservation in, and be sure to plan it to join us on the 19th of January at the Coleman Center at 6 p.m. We'll look forward to seeing you there. And that's the show for today. So thank you again for being with us. And Thanks again to the Meltdown folks. Lots happening, and we hope to see you around town.